Hi everyone, welcome into Siren Records Monterey. It's Fresh Catch Friday, and it's Friday the 13th. Well, I'm going to let you in on something. It's technically not, because I am doing this for you on Thursday because I have to be away on Friday. So it's going to be a short list today, but the full list will be posted down below as it always is. But I'm going to just go ahead and give you like a little sampling. And there we go. Of course, it wouldn't be a day without the motorcycle sounds. So all is well in Monterey. Okay, let's get started with picks of the week. Now, my pick for you is the great Kevin Morby. It's called This Is a Photograph. Now, the story begins here with Kevin Morby. He's looking through a box of old family photos in the basement of his childhood home in Kansas City. And it turns out just hours before, at the family dinner, his father literally collapsed in front of him, had a heart attack right there on the spot, and had to be rushed to the hospital. It turns out that he made it through and he healed, but still, what a horrible moment in time. And so that night, he was just feeling so shook, and just he's gazing at these images, and one of these pictures jumps out of him, and it's the father as a young man, very strong and filled with confidence, and he's posing on the front lawn, and he's with his shirt off, and it just reminds you of how fragile life can be and how things change so drastically. So anyway, this was in January of 2020 that all this happened, and as the months went on, that's when the world went nuts and everything dramatically changed for everybody, and everything around him too. So these themes kind of began running through his mind: history and trauma, the fight against time, and having courage to dream, even knowing that tragedy often waits, even for those who dare to dream. And while his father was regaining strength, he was meditating on these ideas. And then, when things were okay, he headed out to Memphis, and he set up kind of a makeshift recording setup in the hotel, the Peabody Hotel, and he kind of took up residence there for a while, and just his guitar and a microphone. So he'd been. This is produced by Sam Cohen, who also worked on his Singing Saw and Oh My God records. And this is a photograph that features these musical contributions from longtime staples of Kevin's live band, as well as old friends and new collaborators. So he's from Kansas City. This is his 7th album. It's an epic ode to the fragility of life and the consequent need to cherish love and joy and family, and staying in the moment. Now, he's never one to be at a loss for words, and his writing and lyrics are just absolutely great with this. And if you have liked his stuff in the past, you are going to really love this. So anyway, this comes two ways: on black, or what they call gold nugget vinyl. And again, it's pretty frustrating because they look exactly identical. And if you're in the store, the way to discern which is which is you have to look at this sticker, and up here you'll see it says limited edition gold nugget vinyl, and on the black one it does not say that. It's just the sticker. Okay, very frustrating. I wish they would make those more obvious. As you know, it's a constant bitch with me that I just I have to keep bringing it up every time. All right, also I want to showcase for you the Black Keys have a new record out, and this is called Dropout Boogie. It's on the None Such label. So as they've done their entire career, the Black Keys, it's Dan Auerbach and Patrick Carney, they wrote all the material for their new album in the studio. And the album captures a number of first takes that hark back to the stripped down blues rock of their early days of making music together in Akron, Ohio, in basements. That's where they started out. So after hashing out the initial ideas at Dan Auerbach's Easy Eye Sound Studio in Nashville, they welcomed in some new collaborators, namely Billy Gibbons, the guitarist and primary vocalist of ZZ Top, Greg Cartwright, who's I think from, I want to say, Memphis as well. Or maybe he's Nashville. I can't remember. I'm sorry. But he's from this band Raining Sound. And, he's been knocking around for a long time. And then Angelo Petraglia. He is a songwriter, a producer. He's got his own band. I think they're called Face to Face. But he's best known for his work with Kings of Leon. And Anyway, they brought these guys into these sessions, marking the first time that they've invited multiple new contributors to work simultaneously on one of their own albums. They've never done that before. So the focus is on these dusky grooves that they create, and they've perfected over their 2-decade-long partnership. There's the closing song called "Didn't I Love You?" The guitar sets up a rhythm, and the drums just find the pocket, and off they go into the depths of, that have made them have this hypnotic, unvarnished vibe that they've created throughout time. That's just their signature, and it's certainly out there in this superb record. This comes on white or black vinyl. Now here's a real trigger. The way to discern if you've got the white one or the black one, you got to look at the barcode on the back here. And if it ends in a 5-6, it's white. It ends in a 7-6, it's black. This one here is, I'm going to show you that. See how it is the 7-6? Okay, so that's the black one. And here, this one, oh my goodness. This one has the 5-6. So that's the white one. I mean, would it kill them to make a sticker? God, that just frustrates the hell out of me. But okay, that's it. Anyway, nice to hear from the Black Keys again. I think this is something like their 11th album, which is, they've, like I said, they've had 2 decades of working together in this partnership. So here you go. And they're still doing it their way and very signature sound. All right, so let's talk about a few things. I'm just going to give you a sampling of some things on the list. Tried to pick something for everyone, but I just have a quick one for you today, okay? This is Emeline Sniffers, this Australian band. It's called Comfort to Me. This is on ATO Records, and this is the second album from them, and it's both heavier and it's even more awesome than their debut record that we have talked about before. With Comfort to Me, their lead singer, Amy Taylor, she proves that she can do whatever she wants, while the Sniffers, they just really show you how great a rude rock and roll band can be. Just that righteous groove that they have. This expanded edition features a bonus LP that was recorded live from Williamstown, and that's like on a dock in Melbourne. And so you get that bonus LP with this one. So that's 2 LPs. It's pressed on clear smoky vinyl. It also includes a download and a fold-out poster, and they tell you all about that on the sticker on the front. But yeah, so live from Williamstown, that's disc 2. And yeah, disc 1 is this new record. And like I said, even better than the debut. So if you liked that, you're in for a treat. Okay, next up is the Dillinger Escape Plan. This is a reissue. It's called Irony is a Dead Scene. It's an EP, and it's on Epitaph, and it's the 3rd EP by this American mathcore band. It was recorded with Mike Patton from Faith No More, and Mr. Bungle. What else was he in? The Fantomas, okay. Anyway, this was released in 2002, and it's a collaboration between Mike Patton and the Dillinger Escape Plan. This 4-song EP, it just pushes the limits of speed, composition, and complexity. Perhaps the most extraordinary track is a cover of the Aphex Twins' "Come to Daddy," which brilliantly and significantly serves to blur the distinction between electronic and live music. And this is on opaque tangerine with black and white splatter. So that's a nice reissue if you want to have that one in your collection. Okay, this has been a while for her. Florence and the Machine, Dance Fever. And this is on the Republic label. And it's their 5th studio album. It's written and produced through the haze of 2 lockdowns in London and in New York, with producers Jack Antonoff and Glass Animals' Dave Bailey. So Dance Fever sees Florence here at the peak of her powers, coming into fully realized self-knowledge, poking kind of sly fun at her own self-created persona, playing with ideas of identity, masculine and feminine, redemptive, celebratory, stepping into her place in the iconic pantheon. exclusive limited edition gray vinyl, 3 sides plus an etching. And I think it's interesting how they say that she's kind of poking sly fun at her own self-created persona. Now, I first learned about her listening to that album Lungs, which I thought was just incredible. And she's got such a big voice, and it was so experimental and so amazing to me. And, it took a while, I think a few years before people really caught on to it. And then, she just blew up like pretty fast after she got that foothold. And then it seemed to me I was a little disappointed in her records after that, because she almost like took on this weird, and again, maybe it is this like self-created persona, but it just seemed to me it was that it wasn't as enjoyable anymore as like Lungs. She was an indie artist, and now it was that Celine Dion anthem, chest beating kind of vocal. It just didn't make me happy. I mean, I still think always that she has this beautiful voice, but it never captured that same indie rock to me as Lungs did. And now it was like she was in the Celine Dion and Adele arena of being that, she still had some indie cred, but it was just too much with the vocal orchestration for me. So hopefully with this one, there's going to be moments of both, because I know that her fan base is huge, even with the anthemic like songs and singing that way. But I miss the old Florence, and I'm hoping that there's it's a double album. Well, it's 3 sides and an etching. Have you guys noticed that lately that seems to be like the trend? 3 sides and an etching. I don't know. Is that necessary? I feel like maybe you don't need to make it a double. I don't know, but we'll see. Okay. So that's like I said, their 5th album. But for me, nothing has compared to the first one, Lungs. So we'll see. We'll give this a chance. All right. So next up, this is Art Pepper plus 11. This is Modern Jazz Classics, Contemporary Records, Acoustic Sounds. This is on Craft Recordings, and this is released as a part of the Acoustic Sounds series, celebrating 70 years of contemporary records. I feel like there's a lot of S's in that sentence, and it sounds like a tongue twister. Anyway, saxophonist Art Pepper's classic big band album, plus 11, features modern jazz classics by Dizzy Gillespie, Thelonious Monk, Charlie Parker, Sonny Rollins, Jerry Mulligan, and more. It was first released in 1960 and recorded by legendary engineers Roy Dunan and Howard Holzer. This new edition features all analog mastering from the original analog tapes by Bernie Grundman. It's pressed on 180-gram vinyl at QRP and is presented in a tip-on jacket. Now, what is a tip-on jacket? A tip-on jacket revolves. It's old school. They used to print the cover art on sheets of paper and then glue those sheets to the board stock. So it's very hard to see, but if you take a look at this, do you almost see how this white line at the bottom, it gets a little bigger on this end? That's because the cover art here is pasted onto the white board and they didn't quite get it perfect. That's just old school. It's how it used to be. It's very hard for me to try to show it to you up in these corners because it's white on white, but there you will see wherever that blue is it's kind of a better angle there. You can see that this is like a piece of paper that's glued down onto the white board of the sleeve. Okay, that's what tip-on is, and it's old school and it's kind of a thing. Anyway, by contrast, the direct-to-board is the preferred way of doing it now. That's the method that they use. It's currently the norm. So anyway, they just did that to make it a little old school and fun. Okay, but that is Art Pepper's big band record. All right, next up we have Gregory Porter. This is also a reissue, and this is his debut studio album called Water. It was originally released in 2010 under the Matema music label, but it's now reissued on Blue Note Records. The tracks include love stories such as Illusion and Pretty, and protests for African American civil rights like 1960 What, which recounts the 1967 Detroit riots. And Water was hailed by fans and critics alike as elevating Porter to the status of the next great jazz star and marking the beginning of a very successful career for him. We've talked about him before, and yeah, this guy's got a voice that'll just blow the windows out of the walls. It's great. 2 LPs, and it's pressed on clear vinyl. Okay, next up, this is a little beauty here, and it's didn't get very many. Rolling Stones, Live at the El Mocambo, 1977, and this is from Polydor and Rolling Stones Records. It's celebrating 60 years of the Rolling Stones. This is the first ever legit release of the legendary 1977 shows at the El Mocambo, and it features the full set from March 5th and 3 bonus tracks from March 4th. It was recorded professionally by the band in front of just 300 people. It's a full set. It's never really been heard before as the full set. This is limited edition 4 LP heavyweight vinyl, including a special etching. There you go. So that's 4 LPs. So it is 7 sides and an etching. Okay. And it's got this covers. This is actually die cut. It's so when I'm just trying to think. If you pull this out of the box, maybe it doesn't remain pink because that's all die cut where the pink is, and so I'm not sure what it looks like when it's opened up, but this was it's been kind of bootlegged and stuff, but never as the full set. So this is a very special thing, and I would say run if you want that, because not many. Okay, this is Rosalia, Moto Mami, and it has explicit lyrics, just so you know, and it is on the Columbia Records Group label. So Spanish experimental pop phenom Rosalia, she returns with Moto Mami. It's her 3rd studio album and the follow-up to her Grammy-winning 2018 LP that was called El Mal Querer. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. Described as her most personal album yet. Moto Mami gets its name from the dual feminine energies that Rosalia tapped to make the album. Moto refers to Rosalia's more aggressive side, while Mami touches on her softer side. Excuse me. Recorded across Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, New York, Miami, and Los Angeles, and Barcelona, the LP draws on the varying Latin sounds that Rosalia encountered during her travels. And she said she was in a new environment, in a new context, and, of course it was going to affect her sound. And she told that to the New York Times in an interview. And she wanted it to affect her sound and her pen because it affects her personally. So anyway, this is on clear red vinyl. It's in a gatefold sleeve, and she's kind of on fire right now, so grab that one. Next up, this is a reissue of the great Muddy Waters Electric Mud on Anagram Music. So this is a legendary and controversial album due to the fusion of electric blues and psychedelic elements. So he is backed here by Phil Upchurch and other Rotary Connection members. This masterpiece includes his numbers like I'm Your Hoochie Coochie Man, as well as covers of the Rolling Stones' Let's Spend the Night Together. So it was originally released in 1968. It sold 150,000 copies within 6 weeks. Electric Mud was the first of Muddy Waters' albums to make it onto a Billboard chart. And it's on 180-gram white vinyl in a special gatefold edition here. There's only 1,200 copies of that. And on the notes here out the front, it was saying that some contemporary critics saw this album as sacrilegious to the gospel genre. Fellow stars like Jimi Hendrix praised it, and Electric Mud is now considered an overlooked classic. Public Enemy's Chuck D and others have hailed it as an early influence of hip-hop. And it also has been extensively sampled by artists like the Black Keys and Gorillaz. But anyway, it's been out of print for a while, but it's back now. You can get Electric Mud once again, and it's terrific. So you might want to get one of these with the gatefold sleeve. Like I said, it's limited to 1,200 copies on the white vinyl, but it is 180-gram white vinyl, which is unusual. Okay, so that's the short stack, and I'm going to post the list down below so you can get a big overview and see of all the you can see all the new releases and reissues that came rolling through this week. Okay, so have a great weekend, everyone, and I hope you found something here that you are interested in. If you want that Rolling Stones Alma combo, I would not sleep on that. Hurry up. So I will see you next time, and thanks for coming, and I'll see you later.